Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. I am once again joined by Kihokai 1994. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. It's great to talk to you because it's been forever, and there's a bunch of things that have happened all across the country, and it's good to talk to friends that had to go through that and make sure everybody's okay.
It is a really,
it's solid
really
that all of my friends so
strange time
far
with
have been okay, and I'm happy for that.
Wildfires and all this other stuff. But guys, we're going to allow everyone to kind of relax from that and have a good old-fashioned Dragon Ball Super discussion video. And of course, we're going to get into little headcanon theories, speculation in here, usually like what we always do in this channel. But personally, I want to look beyond the Tournament of Power, beyond the next arc even, and just basically go into GT, even beyond GT timeline territory right now. And talking about the next generation of the Dragon Ball heroes, or everyone that we come to know and love in this series. And we've discussed this a little bit on this channel before, but I just wanted to kind of change the conversation a little bit from someone that we've known for a long time but was just recently introduced into Dragon Ball Super, and that is Bra. So just to kind of break it down a little bit, we do know that around that GT, a little past the whole GT timeline, we'll have Oob, Pan, Bra, Goten, Trunks, and anyone else who joins the fray, Marin even. But who among those, what type of role are they going to be filling, these characters? Kind of if we ever get to this point and someone has to take over Goku. I'm not saying it will happen, but if it happens, if it were to happen in some spin-off series or sequel, or even just kind of growing up the series to that point, who would take on the roles, the stereotypical roles that we have for these people? And I'm going to just throw it out there. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say maybe Goten, maybe Gohan kind of takes up his father's role eventually, maybe Pan, or Pan definitely has the probably most potential to be the new Goku type character. But who's going to be the Gohan character? Who's going to have the unbelievably latent energy, but you know, for what it's worth, doesn't really want to be a part of the fight and doesn't want to use fists to solve their problem? I think it should be Bra, because one of the things we've seen is that Vegeta, he had this child when he was Super Saiyan Blue, when he has like almost the strongest that he's ever been at this point in the series. And we know how the plot treats Saiyans who are born from Saiyans who are very strong at any given point in the series, just plot armor for the most part with Goten and Trunks. It makes a lot of sense for me that Bra, unlike Pan, although she will be strong in her own right, but Bra would have more latent potential than Pan. But at the same time, because her mother is Bulma, that she might have a little bit more of an affinity for technology and education to solve problems instead of fists. So man, I know that was a lot. What are your thoughts on this?
So, not only have we seen what being born of a Super Saiyan gene already being like expressed has, we also have seen what having a human / Saiyan child, like a hybrid, what that has done as well. So the potential for like very, very deep down latent energy is like massively possible with Bra herself, for one. Any other, you know, child born of one full Saiyan and a woman. But the difference is, like what you said, and basically reiterating that, her mother is Bulma, who is the second smartest person pretty much on the world. Her dad is, you know, the only person really above her. She could want to push her child more than what Chi-Chi did, and she has the money to send her wherever, whenever, to whatever. We already see like home tutoring that goes on with, you know, with Kid Trunks, you know, whenever she freaked out, whenever she saw all the wacky antics that she got to see that one time. And having that much potential, not just power-wise, but like affluency, being able to pay for your education, it could make her want to go into a different, you know, different style than her father. And maybe it won't be a transformation upon rage, but more of one upon like loss or something, even though I know rage is attributed to that, but like, or just like studying and figuring out. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be that hard for her to transform, because the transformations are getting easier and easier and easier. But
Yeah, and
maybe
you
it
know
would
what's
be one
interesting
based
about
upon
that
her
is,
knowledge instead
you
of
know,
just
with
pure
Goku is probably the most
aggression.
laid-back person in the entire series, and Chi-Chi has a lot of emotional spells. Same kind of thing with Gohan. He probably got that from Chi-Chi, just kind of a little bit more in tune with his emotional side than Goku. But at the same time, we have Vegeta and Bulma, on the other hand, who definitely do have a lot more control of, or at least greater emotions than someone like Goku or maybe even Chi-Chi. I mean, I guess it could be argued who is more emotionally vulnerable or open about their emotions, whether it's Chi-Chi or Bulma. And if those traits pass on to Brawl, then yeah, like emotional loss, whatever it is, you would imagine that, oh my god, like she could really blow up and become that much more powerful at any given point in the series if she was allowed to actually do that. And then just kind of the apprehension from it, I think, would be a really awesome character trait, considering the fact that given everything that we know from the series with Goten and Trunks and even Gohan, latent potential in Saiyans is a real thing, and we could actually see her become the strongest person in the entire series. Now, with that being said, I do want to focus on a little bit with Kale and Caulifla, because I feel like the series up until this point in Dragon Ball Super has focused somewhat solely on the fact that female Super Saiyans, I don't think there's anything, I guess, different about Kale and Caulifla, different about the potential or strength in Super Saiyan women versus Super Saiyan men, because we saw Kaba being able to achieve Super Saiyan pretty easily. The same thing with Goten and Trunks, as we've mentioned. But at the same time, the series at least has shown some, I guess, not really shown apprehension to having females actually become Super Saiyans anymore. We do know that that was a big issue in the last series with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, because Toriyama himself basically said he didn't know how to make Super Saiyan women. They didn't know what they would actually look like. I think we've actually gotten beyond that with this series. It's really nice to see that. But at the same time, even Kaba, as strong as he is, the two Super Saiyan females in Universe 6 are actually stronger than him, at least from what we know so far. So, like I said, it's also that shift in dynamic where we have females who are stronger than their male counterparts, and I feel like that would be an interesting thing to focus on if we ever get to the future parts of Dragon Ball Super, where Bra and Pan and even Marin are grown up and they are kind of, I guess, sidelined, or they can sideline Goten, Trunks, and Oob, if we ever get to that point.
Basically doing the Dragon Gal squad or something.
The Dragon Z fighters or something. I don't know.
Dragon Gal Z. Something good.
Exactly. I personally would like to see that, honestly, because one of the things I would love to see, and I think MJ brought this up, he painted his picture really, but he was like, what if, can you see Bulma trying to teach Bra, like teaching Bra how to fix the gravity room for Vegeta, but Vegeta wants her to fight, and then maybe they might even train and they break it and she has to sit there while he's going to take a rest and she actually fixes it herself, or something else like that. So now we have a series where you have Pan and Bra, Pan being the Goku figure, Brawl not necessarily being a Vegeta-like person, but more of a Gohan-like person, and then you have maybe another rivalry or friendship rivalry that we have with Goku and Vegeta with Goten and Trunks, and then Oob can basically be the kind of a stoic, more Piccolo's type figure, and that's how you have all of the people basically wrapped up into one, and you have your next generation of actual fighters with everyone having basically either the same relationships or character dynamics that everyone had at the original part of the series.
Yeah, and then, so, like, you wouldn't have to have, like, a bunch of side characters like Tien and Chaozu and stuff. It would just be the main guys, and then every once in a while, you know, you'd have to have that small Vegeta cameo or that small Goku cameo. But, like, I would feel that they would really pass the torch along to them, so they wouldn't want to be fighting, because we've seen a few instances in the series where Goku says things along like, I didn't need to help because they were supposed to do it themselves. They're the ones that are going to be saving the Earth soon. I'm not even supposed to be on Earth right now. So, I mean, we've already seen that they're going to try to pass it. I mean, we're talking about cartoons, so we're talking about, like, fake thoughts and things like that. But I would assume in my fake thoughts that they would, you know, want to finally pass it down. They're getting older. They don't want to be doing it anymore because they don't feel the responsibility. it seems like a really good way to make something offshoot of here that we don't have to, just keep these characters frozen in time after Super in like a 1 week time period that goes on for the next 25 years of animation.
And they could totally do that too. We've seen, and a lot of people have talked about just how long certain arcs are with One Piece. Dragon Ball could definitely do that. We just really hope they don't. One of the hallmarks of Dragon Ball has really been, almost since the very beginning, is allowing all of its characters to age. And a lot of people have said that Super's really dropped the ball with that, with Goten and Trunks not necessarily aging and Bra taking so long to be born, that we're not necessarily seeing any forward progression with people like Goku and Vegeta or Gohan or any of the other characters. But we're probably going to start getting a little bit, I guess, more comfortable with everyone aging as we get closer to the end of Z. And we also have Bra and Pan now to kind of pick up that slack from actually having children characters, and maybe they can grow up and we can get replaced somewhere down the line, but they're going to at least be a little bit more comfortable with having Goten and Trunks growing up and having Goku and Vegeta actually get a little bit older. And I think that that is a really good thing for the beginning of something new, or the end of what Dragon Ball Super is right now. And hopefully, even though this is a hugely popular series, hopefully it could potentially remain as popular as it is now, as we kind of get away from Goku and Vegeta potentially being the only two main focuses on the series, and we could focus on the next generation. Because I know I've said it before, and a lot of other people have said it as well, it would be really nice for them to focus on the next generation at some point, like you said, with little bits and pieces or little cameos from Vegeta and Goku and Gohan and all of our other favorite people, because they're not dying, they're not going anywhere immediately, but they don't necessarily always have to be at the forefront of every given fight and the heroes of every single arc. We can't.
They also don't need to fight the Watatosh.
Yeah, like
I mean, they need people to take care of those little things that happen.
Exactly. So I think that would be really kind of cool to see. Guys, what I want you guys to do is tell us what your thoughts on this in the comment section below. This isn't just a conversation between me and Kihokai. This is a conversation between all of us. So your thoughts on this: do you think Pan would make a good Gohan archetype as we go forward in the series? Do you want to see her latent potential be expressed, but not necessarily her want to solve everything with fists? Or would you like to see her more of a Vegeta type character who goes out and tries to actually fight everyone, despite not necessarily being as strong as everyone, or just being arrogant in and of her, like in her own right, just like her father and maybe even her mother? At the same time, I want everyone to go down to the description section below, hit that link, and go subscribe to Kihokai. The guy makes some really awesome content, some really awesome side story series that you're not going to want to miss. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, like that's a really cool series, so make sure to go check that out. Anyway, guys,
I'm really proud of that one.
So anyway, guys, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a good day. It's been real.
Catch you guys next time.